Boo! Did I scare you? Or maybe you're laughing right now. See, fear and humor actually share something in common, is that you can subvert someone's expectations and produce both of them. That's why people oftentimes laugh when they're nervous, and a lot of times while very man babies think, oh, well, I thought we were having a good time. She was laughing and smiling. Brother, get a grip on reality. Anyway, weird little a side rant going on there. But let's try something else. Maybe that wasn't very funny to you. Maybe that didn't scare you or shock you in any way, shape, or form. So let's run that back with something different. We got ourselves a heap and help and a hogwash to discuss. The Jehovah's Witnesses have officially launched their checkmark verified social media accounts. And of course, you know, I've got to talk about it. What is with my eyebrows? Did I not wash my face when I got up this morning? Busted ass nigga, what are you doing? Hello and welcome back to the JW Thoughts channel. My name is Wally and today we are talking about official social media accounts from the Jehovah's Witnesses, an idea that's been talked about by me and I'm sure others, but never really taken too seriously, and bada bing, bada boom, we have it here. Quickly before we get into it, don't forget to drop a like on the video. It really does help it get out to more people on YouTube and helps my vanity. When videos perform well, it makes me happy and makes me want to make more of them. When they don't, it makes me sad and I want to stop. It's pretty simple. Anyway, if you could help out, that's the only thing I ever really ask of people is to like and subscribe. With all of that being said, we have a elders letter, the announcements and reminders, and in there they address this. So this isn't a deep fake. This isn't a conspiracy as far as I can tell. As a pilot program, the organization has established official social media accounts on Instagram and TikTok under the name JW Pressroom. All materials will be posted in English. The material on these platforms is specifically designed for a secular audience, government officials, journalists, and researchers. Publishers can continue to rely on JW Broadcasting and the news section of jw.org for encouraging updates on our activities. So, a little bit to unpack there. So, they're starting off with Instagram and TikTok. I actually had to go and make an Instagram account. So, Wally's on Instagram. What do you think about that? Anyway, so I go and look at this thing, and yeah, they have a bunch of people. I looked at their follower list, and I did notice a couple of names that had popped up on there, so I'm guessing, yeah, this is super duper official. I do think it's interesting that they say it's specifically designed for secular audiences, government officials, journalists, and researchers, because as someone who covers the Jehovah's Witnesses, I'm very familiar with the process that happens when governments or journalists or researchers approach the Jehovah's Witnesses with questions, with honest inquiries into the behavior, the actions, the rules, the policies, the history, anything of the Jehovah's Witnesses. And it's basically, if it's something that is negative or could be negative or is even neutral, it's no comment. You go and try and find a Jehovah's Witness representative willing to say something that's either, again, neutral or negative. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to address it. They're happy. If you're like, man, we would love to publish something about the wonderful thing you did by helping us build this park near in the community where you were building a new Kingdom Hall or something. Oh yeah, they're happy to glaze themselves at any opportunity. But if it's actual serious journalism or serious research, they got nothing to say. They say, hey, if you can manage to get our butts in front of the Supreme Court, then maybe we'll give you a little tiddlywink of information. But unless we are legally obligated to disclose something, we are going to keep our mouths shut about anything serious or important. So I guess the vision of this is just to be propaganda. It's just to mislead, because I mean, what do watch, like the case in Norway, it was a perfect demonstration of how misleading the Jehovah's Witnesses are and how they talk about what their policies are when it's a bit of a sketchy situation. So they're like, shunning. Do we shun? Bob, when's the last time we shunned someone? Oh, I don't know. I've never been shunned. They do this crazy game where they try and deny things that are just in their literature as if it doesn't exist. So we already know that they are more than willing to stretch the truth and even outright lie to government officials, to journalists, to researchers. And I'm guessing that's why there's the little caveat there, is that this is specifically designed for them. For Jehovah's Witnesses, you can continue to look at JW Broadcasting. Now, I don't think they're so dumb that they would directly contradict their own policy that Jehovah's Witnesses would use, is what I first thought. But I suppose I could see a world where, under the qualifications of spiritual warfare, they might be willing to post things on their official TikTok or Instagram that are downright misleading and misrepresent actual Jehovah's Witness policies and procedures. And maybe Jehovah's Witnesses would just accept that because of spiritual warfare. They would tell themselves, oh, well, the organization is just protecting itself legally. The organization just doesn't want to bring reproach on Jehovah's name. The organization isn't lying. They're just not sharing the entire truth. I could see a world where those hardcore witnesses that are never going to leave under any circumstances, like the type of witnesses that can hear the blood policy change and be like, no, that's fine. That can see adjustments to shunning, be like, no, that's fine. To see adjustments to the beard policy and be like, no, I don't see anything wrong here. The old meme, the house on fire and the dog sitting there like, everything's fine. This is okay. It's kind of like that. I think those Jehovah's Witnesses are going to be in the mindset where they would be more than happy to justify any discrepancies under spiritual warfare. So it could be just a tool for propaganda, straight up, just like that. And does Watchtower actually care that much about apostates yapping about it? I always wonder about that. Obviously, they're going to turn comments off. There's just 0% chance of that going through because they have to be able to control the narrative. But I don't know how much paranoia goes on inside of Watchtower because of what apostates post on social media. Because I think the people that end up leaving because of seeing that were probably going to end up leaving anyway. That curiosity was getting the better of them. So that's just my 2 cents on it. Again, I don't know for sure. Who knows what's going on inside the mind of the leadership of the governing body. But I will make a video or an update to this because there is extant examples. So I'll just have to later today, I'll work out on how to compile it in a way that makes sense. But they have so much material about staying off of social media, avoiding social media, the dangers of it. They have droned on about this topic for years and years and years. Now, I did think it would be funny to go over to the Jehovah's Witness Reddit, as you will, and see what Jehovah's Witnesses were having to say about this, because I know dang well, I haven't actually looked at it yet, but I know that they're already talking about it. So let's go over there and see exactly what's going on. First post here. Friends have been sending me the same reel of the JW Press Room new social media account. Do you think this will be a new way to engage with the public? And immediately the skepticism comes in. I mean, off rip, frame one. You assume this is legitimate from the organization. Let's wait and see first. This is probably how shocking it is. No one really expected this. I tried to actually go and find. I know I've talked about it multiple times whether or not Jehovah's Witnesses would have official social media accounts, and I couldn't find any video that I talked about it in, but maybe it was during a live stream. But from my memory banks, I think I had talked myself into it, and then in classic Wally fashion, immediately talked myself out of it. So I don't think that most people, if they really gave this a lot of serious thought, would have been like, yeah, this is something that the witnesses would do, because it doesn't actually make a whole lot of sense. It genuinely doesn't. It seems like it would be more problematic than helpful for them. So I guess we'll see how it shakes out in the long term. I see there are some apostates that have already subscribed to the TikTok account. Hopefully those who manage it will remain vigilant and block them. Now that's actually pretty interesting that people were already noticing who the apostates were that were following it. That's actually kind of crazy. So the Jehovah's Witnesses are keenly, they already know what time it is. You know, the apostates, the scary little goobers in the corner that are always like salivating at the mouth to discredit Watchtower in any way. The Jehovah's Witnesses know about us, and so they are already checking the follower list to see if anyone pops up. I find that pretty hilarious. And yeah, another person, oh my goodness, it's official. What a time to be alive. I know we have a lot of friends on Instagram, but TikTok is quite a surprise. It's popular for sure. I know, right? I think this is the first time the organization has actually produced vertical videos, although it wouldn't be surprising if we did, considering how common they are nowadays. But one thing I notice is that they chose Instagram and TikTok, which are both very popular for vertical videos and high engagement, unlike Twitter, X, or Facebook. Let's not talk about YouTube, LOL. Love that they've done this after the Watchtower last Sunday mentioned social media. Some in my congregation were going to extremes and saying we shouldn't be on social media. Guess this has showed them. I didn't realize that there was a Watchtower this Sunday talking about social media. Oh, you can't make it up. Wait, what did the actual Watchtower say? Okay, now I got to investigate this. So this was this week's Watchtower that they had just discussed. Paragraph 17 has this picture that goes along with it. Like Jesus' disciples, we could feel emotionally distressed at times. Events that mark this time of the end can create anxiety in us. Many today look for escape by turning to social media. They use it to connect with friends and family around the world and share news, photos, and more. And they use it to enjoy endless entertainment. Yet these individuals can end up completely engrossed, spending much of their time and energy on keeping up with the latest. To help us have a balanced view of social media, we might ask ourselves, is my use of social media refreshing me, or is it blurring my view of what is truly important? So I suppose none of this directly contradicts them having something, and maybe it almost like solidifies it, because they could hypothetically still talk about the evils of social media. And, you know, because it's like, well, they are tools to absorb all of your time and give you misinformation. But if it's not giving you misinformation and it's not wasting your time, and we've told you to not even really go and look at it, this is for educational purposes, this is for research and journalistic purposes, you can still go to jw.org. I guess I'll have to think about it a little bit more. So later today, when I'm compiling all of the times I've talked about social media, hopefully that'll let me kind of mull over things and think about things in context a little bit more. So anyway, I'm going to go work out, get my head all clear and good to go, and then I will come back and get cracking on a little bit of a mini deep dive of all of the things that they've said about the evils of social media and how that actually directly correlates to them actually using it now. So look forward to that. I'll probably post it tomorrow morning, maybe like tomorrow afternoon or something like that. We'll see. Anyway, with all that being said, there's a quick update for you. Stay safe, be kind, and don't forget to spend more time loving the things you love than hating the things you hate. And apparently, that means that the Jehovah's Witnesses love social media. And they don't, in fact, hate it. So they're going to spend more time on it. So, yeehaw!